Next tweet.
Yay!
Frank Turek says, "What is the meaning of life?" Ken replies with, "To glorify God and enjoy him forever." That's such a banal, boring, why would you want that to be your meaning? Like, I would much rather my meaning of life be to make life better for other people.
My meaning for life is enjoying myself and making the other people around me also enjoy themselves, which is why I play a copious amount of Magic the Gathering.
Fennec says 42, obviously. Fennec, you're wrong. 42 is the answer to life, not the meaning of life. Everybody makes that mistake, but it is a mistake. It is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, not the meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
Hey, Rhino, you know what's wild? I only played one game of Magic the Gathering at the Magic the Gathering convention.
I played with my kids the other day.
I spent...
And I fucking trounced them.
Die, potatoes!
Well, that's the thing. So, okay, I don't know what happened, but I have... Fennec is spanking us again.
Fucking pronouns!
Oh, no, that's the wrong button.
You've been a bad girl.
The right button.
Fucking pronouns is always the right button. Yeah, no, I have the Sauron deck, but it's missing a bunch of cards. So I had to play with my my what's-her-face deck again.
Oh, Emeria?
Yeah, that one. And so I didn't get Scoot Swarm up. My kids are obsessed with Scoot Swarm. They don't seem to realize that like my whole deck is built around minions.
Yeah, Scoot Swarm just happens to be one of the strongest ones.
So the whole time they're like, oh, if Papa gets Scoot Swarm, we're gonna be screwed. I'm like, I'm probably not going to get Scoot Swarm because we don't get halfway through the deck, and there's a 50% chance it's on the bottom side of the deck. But I have like 7 2/2 cat beasts, and I have like 15 1/1 white soldiers with a bunch of counters on them that make them 7/7 creatures or whatever. So like, I'm just gonna fucking steamroll you guys eventually. And I was trying to go easy on them, but one of my other kids had one that was like at the end, like, as long as this card is on the field, everybody has to attack someone.
Oh yeah, Carter.
I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was that one. But like, that was one of the effects, is that you have to attack on your turn. I'm like, I'm sorry. You're just dead now because you forced me to attack.
Yeah.
Justice says, ew, a Scoot player. Blame Suris. He's the one that gave me the card.
Yep. I have learned that there's a path that all Commander players take. When they are learning the game, they get stronger and more powerful cards. And then once they've gotten to a point where they go, okay, I've played with the strong and powerful cards. Now I'm okay scaling my decks down because I know what it's like to play with power, and I know exactly how much of it that I actually want to play with. But step one on that is always letting those players play with whatever the hell. I actively don't put Scoot Swarm in the majority of my decks that could use it because I think it's too powerful. But I know a billion other ways to win because I play this game too goddamn much. I can get creative with my wins because I play this game too goddamn much. Yeah. Although I did think about taking one of my extra copies of Emeria and getting it signed and sending it to you because the artist behind Emeria was actually at the convention.
I would have enjoyed that, but I'm very bad at signed things. Like, I have a guitar that is signed by most of the members of Creed. It's sitting in my garage right now and is probably ruined because of humidity or something. Because I'm just bad at that sort of thing.
I mean, you would just put it as the commander in your deck, like your commander's the signed card. That's what I do with my signed cards. They don't go in like a binder or anything. I only get cards that I use signed.
While we're talking about Magic, you can entertain them for a while. I'm going pee.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me just go ahead and let you guys know, when Vice Rhino pees, it first hangs a little to the left, and he's got to adjust it a bit. And then once he gets that fixed, then he's able to actually let loose. But like 30% of it ends up on the fucking rim, and I don't know how he manages that. It's always exactly 30%. It's like the Fibonacci sequence. It's mathematically interesting, but it's like existentially terrifying, honestly. I don't get it, but I mean, his wiener, not mine. I'm not gonna judge exactly what he does with it. Shitty Bob says, I used to play back at Invasion, dipping my toes back in, but all I've got right now is precons. There's nothing wrong with playing precons. Precons are fine. I play a lot of I do a lot of shit with precons. Precons are good. Suris, don't you be talking about Rhino peeing when you take a half hour to poop. You're right, Naki. But the reason that I can criticize the way Vice Rhino pees is because of how much time that I do spend pooping. You don't understand. I am a toilet aficionado. And it's because of that, a toilet aficionado, that I am able to critique other people in how they utilize their toilets. Suris has IBS. Yeah, probably. I probably do have irritable bastard syndrome. Naki says precons are awesome as a basic deck to modify. I mean, they're awesome as more than just that, though. Like, a lot of precons these days are just really, really powerful. They are just generally very, very strong. Sean says, I play Hearthstone for a reason. People, my decks are free. Not after what Blizzard had to get to gain access to your soul. Hi, Rhino.
Hi.
Hi. I only spent a minimal amount of time narrating your piss.
Okay.
Everybody in chat now,
wet.
They know that 30% of your piss makes it onto the toilet seat. Exactly 30% of it every time.
Yeah, but I clean up after it.
Yeah, but they know that it lands there. So they know that your aim is always 30% off, which is reliably unreliable.
It's not about the aim, it's about the watering can effect.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man.
I don't know why that quote would be relevant. Anyway, next tweet. Lobo says, what do Hamas and the Democrats have in common? They like to hold Americans hostage and try to get what they want. Get it? Because the shutdown that the Republicans are 100% responsible for? Because they're the ones in charge of all branches of government right now?
Yay. I'm so happy.
Somehow that's the Democrats' fault?
I love everything always being the fault of the left. Even though the Democrats aren't really the left, the centrists, I guess, in this case. Yeah. Wild.
Oh, did you see, what's his face? There was a guy running for governor who, when it came out that he follows a bunch of, like, trans porn creators on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because he's running as a Republican. As soon as that came out, he dropped out of the race. And then everybody was responding to the tweets, posting about it, being like, oh, he was actually a leftist. Like,
that
was
liking women with
Republican. How could he be a leftist?
Liking women with dicks does not make you leftist. It just makes you based.
No. And the fact that you're embarrassed about that, like embarrassed enough to actually change your career path about that, is just showing.
It just shows you're a pussy.
No,
it's a level.
Are strong. It shows you're weak. You're a dick. Because dicks are weak.
Am I gonna have to pull up the definition now?
Of dick?
No. Pusillanimous.
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 You're a pusillanimous.
You're pusillanimous.
Exactly. Probably.
Also probably.
As Real says, I'm still trying to figure out how to fill out an app for Trantifa.
Lauren Boebert, number 2. Retweeting Congresswoman Sarah McBride. So McBride pointed out that they left the floor because like they arrived, they tried to, put stuff up that was like, hey, we could keep the government open and fund things. And the Republicans were like, nope, gavel, we're closing, we're stopping. Don't do it. No, you can't put things out. Like, nope, we're just done. Basically ran away with their tails between their legs. And Sarah McBride was pointing that out, to which Lauren Boebert says, so says the king of spins. Y'all voted to shut down the government last week. Nice try, bro. Which, when I first read this, I read the bro as the same as my kid. We're like, bro. But now that I'm reading King of Spins and realizing that Sarah McBride is the one trans rep, this is just her trying to misgender her.
Yep.
I didn't realize. When I took the screenshot, I did not realize that it was as toxic as it is. Yes, also fuck Sarah McBride for being a spineless coward. I agree with that. But also fuck Lauren Boebert for misgendering Sarah McBride.
Yep. We do not hold your gender hostage based on how good of a two-shoes you are.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sarah McBride as the first trans... Is she the first trans woman in Congress?
I believe so.
Yeah, so not a fan of her as the first. there are other people that would have been better firsts. But that doesn't mean you misgender her. And that's actually one of the things where, like, I remember I made a video a while ago where I purposely referred to God as she. And the biggest pushback I got from that was not from offended Christians. It was from people being like, hey, we don't actually misgender people as an I told you so sort of thing. That's not cool. That's not actually being a trans ally. That's just being a dick.
My response to that personally is that I don't care to be policed by the people I am trying to protect when I am using a weapon you object to.
So that's the thing that was like, it was not a like all of it was basic, like it was good faith, like, hey, in the future this is how we feel about that, so please be more aware of that. It wasn't a you shouldn't do that or we're going to cancel you sort of thing. So like when I say that they were offended by, I'm not being like, there wasn't like some uproar meant to cancel me or whatever. It was actually very polite, but it didn't trigger the Christians. It was the people who are most sensitive to misgendering that were like, hey, that's actually not cool.
I can understand the perspective. I can just also recognize that I think it is a perspective with not a ton of use, personally. Like, I'm sorry, if somebody is frequently misgendering my partner, and I misgender them back, and it's going to take a lot longer for that to affect them, but if they start to get agitated at all for it, then I'm okay. If it's a tool that they decided they were willing to use, then it is a tool that I am willing to use as well. I'm done playing by the stupid fucking rule in general.
So I would say that's probably a different situation because I was doing it to Christians in general rather than specifically someone who does misgender people.
So more of a misapplication of a tool.
What I was doing.
I guess more of just a misapplication of a tool at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
like I said, the corrections were all very respectful,
like
and
well-meaning.
Like, hey, your heart's in the right place, but please don't.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm still gonna hold fast in my thing that if there is a tool that the enemy is utilizing, I am also going to utilize it because I am tired of playing by a different set of fucking rules because it hasn't worked.
I mean, Jesse Waters said to bomb the UN, so let's bomb Fox. That's a joke. Haha, funny. And it's not a problem because Jesse Waters said it's not a problem, right?
Yeah, Stop says God's a bitch.
God is a bitch. That's a gender neutral term.
It's a gender neutral term, but I've gotten people angry at me for using it as well.
Yeah, but God is a bitch.
And I'm just like, look, I'm sorry. I'm done playing the game that way. Playing the game that way is dumb. It just took a very long time to realize it was dumb.
Okay, moving on. Sherry says, to all leftists trolling my posts, illegals do access... Probably not. Illegals do access our hospitals and healthcare systems. They can't pay their bills. Hospitals then get reimbursed by the federal government. That's our tax dollars footing the bill. Free medical care for illegals, courtesy of you and me.
Okay.
Couple things. First off, healthcare is a human right, so I don't fucking care. That's fine. Secondly, the thing that the Republicans are saying...
Thank you for the hydrate stuff.
Illegal immigrants are using the American Health Care Act, or ACA, whatever the fuck it's called, Obamacare, that they are using that
the Affordable Care
to
Act.
Get money. There's a big difference between I am getting insurance through the government and I'm not getting any insurance. My life is being ruined financially, but I also didn't pay the hospital, so they had to get reimbursed from the government. Those are very different statements. And one of those is not being made by the people in charge right now.
It's a gaff, the government paying for healthcare. Perish the thought. I know, weird, right? Also, Jay Rodimus, I didn't catch this 6 minutes ago. I apologize. Thank you for resubscribing. Said 4 years. Let's go. Honored to have been a subscriber for so long. Your content legitimately keeps me, or guides me in times like these. Keep being you. I am scared about the trajectory of your life if my content guides you.
I have a confession.
Yeah?
I'm still subscribed to you on Twitch, but only because I haven't figured out how to not be anymore.
I have a confession.
You're still my patron?
I'm still a patron of yours. Despite the fact that the Discord it gave me access to doesn't mean shit.
Oh, God. So really, we are just, like, because I am your subscriber and you're my patron, we are essentially just transferring money around and to only benefit the companies that take a percentage of the transaction.
Correct.
Yay!
Nixie, thank you for giving me your points for you fucking
Yay,
degen.
capitalism.
It makes me super happy, especially, considering that Patreon dropped my funding down. A thing that they said they weren't
You
going
can cancel
to do.
me anytime you want, man.
Oh, okay. Guys,
will
do
give
you
you
know
whatever I give my
do you
patrons
know
for free.
the offensive shit that Vice Rhino said in our private chats? Here, allow me to leak them for you so that you can give him social ramifications for everything.
I'll fucking say it.
You said
Where's my fucking
you said
thing?
to cancel you though, so I'm trying.
No, I'm just gonna come right out and admit it. Like, I said that we can advocate for acts of violence overtly now because we're officially terrorists.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that you can dance if we want to.
I mean,
You can leave your friends
but I don't want
behind.
to. You can dance all you want, but I ain't doing shit. Okay.
Don't leak the group chat, says Shay.
There's nothing to leak. We do have a group chat where we have an agreement that like nobody takes screenshots or anything without explicit permission from everybody in the group, but that's just more of a like we can feel safe. Say like if I say something off the top of my head and it turns out I was wrong, that's more of a like your friends can like be like, hey, that was kind of dumb, don't say that. So it's more of a protection against like because we all know we mean well, whereas if it's something that gets out there publicly, it might not necessarily come across the same way.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was getting at with the dancing thing is that my partner and I are going to it's a club night for old people, basically. It's called In Bed by 10, and it's coming to our area on October 18th. And it's basically it's you go to a club and the doors open at 4 p.m. and it closes at 9 p.m. so you can get home and in bed by 10 p.m. So it's for old people or whatever, and it's going to be like playing music from the 90s and early 2000s and stuff. And Heidi is super excited for this because she wants to go dancing and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know what is this dancing of which you speak? I don't know how to do that.
I used to do swing dancing.
So that's the thing. She's from the Caribbean, so for her, dancing is basically I just have to like she's gonna be like twerking on my lap while I just go ha 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 into her butt.
Yeah, it's because you're white.
Yeah, but it's
Dance like a white guy.
It's apparently called whining, not like whining as in like oh I'm whining about it. It's like it's actually a thing or whatever. I don't know, but and like I've had conversations about this. Apparently, this is a thing that you are supposed to be able to do with girls that you don't know and not get an erection. And I'm just like, but you're grinding your bottom into my crotch. How am I not supposed to get excited
That's
about
erection central.
And Jess is like, the fuck is going on? I'm so confused. I'm learning about Caribbean dance culture is what's going on. And it is not going well because I am white as fuck. White plus grinding. No, that's not where that comes from, but I like where your head's at. That's what I'm going to be doing. No, there's a song she listens to. It's like whining, let me see you whining or whatever. I don't know. It's Caribbean music. They're not going to be playing Caribbean music probably there, but that's how she dances. So I'm going to have fun learning that in public.
Well, you can dance if you want to, and you can leave your friends behind.
I'd have to have friends first.
Hello, I am friend.
Yeah, but you're not going to be at the club with me.
I could be.
You want to? Sure. You want to come up? It's October 18th.
I don't think I'm going to make it.
No? Okay.
I can do my best, but I don't think I
Magical
can
Cat
make
Girl
it.
says, Rhino, we can fix that with scissors. I don't know what you're talking about scissoring, but scissoring is fun. So sure. Scissoring fixes everything is what I heard there. Okay. Next tweet. Dr. Taylor Marshall says Pope Leo XIV said that if you support the death penalty, then you are not pro-life. That means that Moses and part of the Pentateuch are not pro-life. Correct.
Yeah?
That is accurate.
That's
And he says, it
fine.
means dozens of popes were not pro-life. Correct. That is accurate. And were heretics. I have less of an opinion on that because heresy, in order to care about heresy, I'd have to care about orthodoxy, and I don't actually care. So yeah, lots of popes weren't pro-life. Moses and parts of the Pentateuch, not pro-life. That is accurate.
Wild how much I don't care about that.
Pope Bob is correct. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I am not going to put Pope Bob on a pedestal because I am just starting with the assumption that because Pope Bob is the Pope of the Catholic Church, he is probably covering up child sexual abuse somewhere because he's a pope. And that's what popes do. So the fact that he said a good thing
doesn't really
does not
mean a whole lot.
Assuage that feeling of mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pope Bob is probably still gross, but he said something slightly progressive, slightly more progressive than the last pope did, and the last pope was supposed to be the progressive pope. So that
all my homies hate the Pope.
Fennec's asking about Bob. Bob is his given name, Robert or whatever. The name that he took was Leo, but his actual name is Bob or Robert. So Pope Bob.
Robert.
I like Pope Bob from Chicago.
Robert. I owe you my life,
Bob.
Robert.
It's Pope Bob. Come on. Tell me you don't want to be talking about Pope Bob.
I would like more about Pope Bob if he's got a little shrimp guy with elongated legs named Marcus just saying random shit to him the entire time.
Thoughts on dead naming a pope? I don't think it counts as dead naming. But I also think Pope Bob just sounds funny. So I'm just going to go with it. Okay. And that was the last tweet, actually.
Whoa!
So, yeah, we done.
What about Bob? Oh, like his tattoo, DePlane Boss DePlane. Yeah, the Rapture got moved to October 8th because of some Julian calendar shit. Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's that have to do with the plane thing?
I don't know. I'm just reading my chat.
I mean, the plane thing was clearly a Pleasure Island reference. The plane!
I mean, I know that, like, that ended up being a plot point in the South Park episode because J.D. Vance was Tattoo.
Yeah, there was. We need Pope Gary. We have Pope Gary right here.
Is he a gay unicorn?
He's a gay unicorn. He's trans, too, canonically. And this is, believe it or not, this is something we have actually adjudicated, is when, if you care to draw gay unicorn Gary, canonically, he does have a penis, but he also can still have a vagina.
He's a futanari.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I am familiar with that word. Olivia Williams for 279 says the Pope supports dead naming. Okay. That tracks.
That response was perfect. Yes, I am familiar with that word.
I do. It did not occur to me to use that in reference to Gary, but yes, I am familiar with what that word means. And you know what? Surprisingly, some of the special effects that are used for that type of content is actually very well done.
It's just watch hentai where it happens and they just draw it.
I know, but the live action ones, sometimes it is very well done. It's just like, I'm actually not sure how they did. Like, I mean, sometimes it's obvious where it's like, okay, it's just a guy for these shots and not for those shots. But there are other times where it's like, oh, that's actually what, like, some special effects artist actually put their, like, passion into doing this. And I kind of love it.
Jesus. Okay.
Yep, that is correct. Senator Rafael Cruz also supports dead naming. Says he is explicitly on record saying we do not go by people's preferred names, we go by their legal names, and his legal name is Raphael. So he is not Ted, he's Raphael, because that's his own policy.
Hip hip hooray.
Yay. Okay. Well, are you going to keep streaming after this?
Yeah, I'm going to pause to make dinner real quick, and then I'll be good, too.
Okay, so I will raid you while you're paused then. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, fuck off. Oh, that's not the right button.
hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really could not do any of this without all of you. Those of you watching, and especially those of you who support me on Patreon. I wanted to go ahead and take a minute to thank all of you who do that, because with YouTube being what it is these days, I really cannot do this full time without the support from each and every one of you. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Tales of Atonement, Nixie Chan, Kiri Artemis, Limor Pinku, Love Bunny Games, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Aurora, Leela Ururaka, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. Thank you so very much. But since you're here, why not go ahead and try watching another one? There should be one that's on the screen right now. And if you are a patron of mine, I wanted to go ahead and thank you again for all of your support. There is still a video you could press though, if you'd like. I would appreciate it just a little bit.